Join us this summer for the epic fantasy series Forbidden, coming to Kickstarter.
Hey there, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Yeah, you right there, Mr. Postman. Hey, Mr. Postman, look at me. Is there a package just waiting for me? Where's my box? Where's my box? What's in the box?
What's up, y'all? And welcome to another episode of What's in the Box. And in this episode, we're going to go back in time. We're going to go back in time to when the comic book publishers used to introduce crossovers and new titles in partnership or in conjunction with Wizard Magazine. And so for all of you youngins out there who don't know who Wizard Magazine is, they ran from, Wizard ran from July 1991 to March 2011. And basically, they were the source. So like for hip-hop, the Source magazine was the go-to magazine. Wizard magazine was the end-all, be-all. You know, if you got featured in Wizard, you were the man. You know, all the hottest artists. They used to have the top 10 artists, top 10 writers, the rising stars in the industry. They had everything. And, you know, when they ceased publication, you know, it sucked. But I believe I have every issue of Wizard magazine in my collection. I still refer to them. In fact, that's how I found this. This was from issue number 90. And and this one was a crossover between Witchblade and Tombriader, which was both produced through Top Cow. Witchblade was a Top Cow-owned brand created by Mark Silvestri, and Tombriader was a video game. So just to give you an insight on Witchblade, it was created in 95, and it ran through October 2015, then again from 2017 through 2020. And, you know, Mark Silvestri was the creator. This was the breakout for Michael Turner. This is what I believe what made him the superstar artist that he was in the game. And the premise basically is it follows Sarah Pezzini, who is a New York City homicide detective who comes into possession of the Witchblade, a supernatural sentient gauntlet that bonds with a female host and provides her with a variety of powers in order to fight supernatural evil. Sarah struggles to hone the powers of the Witchblade and fend off those with a nefarious interest in it, such as entrepreneur Kenneth Irons and his bodyguard Ian Nottingham. So I don't know if you remember, but Witchblade ran as a television series. It was a short-lived television series, but it ran for a little bit. And Yancy Butler was the actress who played the Witchblade. And in fact, I'm going to leave the link below in the summary to the interview that we did with Yancy Butler at the Big Apple Comic Con, and our former field reporter, Michelle Martin. She conducted the interview while I recorded, I believe. And so we had, so that's one of our highest ranked interviews anyway. But it was short-lived. They were supposed to produce a film that never happened. And then Tombriader. Basically, Top Cow produced Tombriader from 99 to 05. And then Dark Horse did it from 2014 on. Tombriader was a comic book series based on a video game franchise, Tombriader, currently produced by Crystal Dynamics, formerly of Core Design, which features the character of Lara Croft. The original series of comics, which were released between 1999 and 05, were published through Top Cow, and were primarily based on the games released by Core Design in 2014. Following the reboot of the Tombriader franchise, the series was revived and is currently being published by Dark Horse Comics. The new timeline of events is based upon the rebooted iteration of Lara Croft and her adventures, and everybody knows about Lara Croft because, Angelina Jolie did a great job. In my opinion, I enjoyed the Tomb Raider movies. Wasn't too fond of the newest iteration of Tomb Raider, even though the actress is a really good actress. I wasn't digging it as much as I did the Angelina versions. But anyway, so I was cleaning out my basement and trying to organize some of my stuff, and I ran across this. And I said, "Whoa, I'd like to feature this on What's in the Box." And so this was a half issue. It was an introduction of a crossover between Witchblade and Tomb Raider, right? And this was Wizard's special edition that came in the magazine. I still have it in mint condition, bagged and board. And there's the Wizard symbol seal. And it also came with its certificate of authenticity. So it says certificate of authenticity. This Witchblade Tomb Raider half was available only through a special offer in Wizard, the Comics magazine number 90. Each copy is part of a limited edition which was distributed in a protective special holder with a copy of the certificate. And Core, Edios, Top Cow, Wizard, Witchblade Tomb Raider. So that's pretty dope. And so let's open this bad boy. It's like, Sam, why are you opening it? Because I want to feature it. And it's cool to go down memory lane. So anyway, so here we go, and the cover's pretty slick. Look at the coloring's pretty vibrant and looks great on camera. Very photogenic, and it marks a bit. I mean, Michael Turner didn't work on this one. I wish he would have, because I was such a fan of his art. But so look at all the credits in here. That was a lot of people worked on this. So plot by Michael Turner and Bill O'Neill. Script by Bill O'Neill. Pencils, Kai Cha, pages 1 through 5. Mark Pajarillo, pages 6 through 8. And Dan Frager, 9 through 16. And then inks, Andy Owen, pages 1 through 5, 9 through 13 and 16. And Walden Wong, pages 6 to 8, 14 and 15. I don't understand that, but anyway. Colors, Matt Nelson, page 2 to 8, 14 to 15. Jimmy Yu, page 9 through 13. And Brian Buccellato, page 1, 6, and 16. Letters by Dennis Hasler, editor David Wall. Covers by Michael Turner, Joe Weems, V. Matt Nelson. That's cover A. And cover B is Kai Cha, Jason Gorda, Jonathan B. Smith. So this, I wonder if this is A or B. Don't know. So it starts off with an assassin who's locked up, and he's talking about his elders, and that he has to get possession. He has to get to New York and get possession of this gem. And you see this blood. So he's an assassin, but he wants this gem, and this gem allows him to transform into a demon. And so starts off, there's people getting mafia guys getting killed, and then there they go, Sarah and Laura Croft, Sarah Pazzini and Laura Croft, they're at the scene. It's like, what a bloody mess. Tell you the truth, it's not as bad as it looks. He's like, Sarah, and they start talking and trying to figure out who caused this, and she believes she knows exactly what is happening, and then she realizes, she introduces, she spills the beans that, because she was in possession of the gem, and it was stolen from her crib, and they're like, oh no. And then so here comes another detective, comes in, he's like, we got another crime scene, we need you guys, boom boom boom, they go. It's even worse. I like the camera angles here, where you see this, it's worm's eye view at an angle which goes down. I just like the way it looks. It's just a great shot right there. Here's another cool pic. At certain points, some things look a little stiff, but other than that, the coloring was pretty tight, and the artwork, of course, it's produced by Top Cow, and Top Cow at that time could do no wrong. So they're trying to figure out what's happening, and it's like, we got to go and check this out. And they realize, wait, did the other detective get to the scene already? And they're like, oh man, he already got killed. And then enters the villain. There's the villain. It's like, heads up. And so now you have this double page splash that Image was known for back in the days, with these big, humongous, it's just like, I don't know if you needed two double page for this one scene, because it's just two hot chicks with weapons, but she can't shoot. The guy's in the way. She's like, don't wait till I get out the way before you shoot. But it's too late, because he kills their partner, the other detective, and it's this big demon. And so she's like, there's only one way to take him out. And So she looks at a gas truck, a gasoline truck, and she's like, wait till the innocents get out the way. She goes, they're out the way, and she boom, blows it up. Really cool action scene right here. But you can tell the differences with the art styles and the artists. It's obvious when it switches up between artists. And then it ends with, the demon is out of him. They decide not to kill him. They decide to lock him up again. And now he's feeling remorse because he's like, I'm an assassin. I know I'm a hired gun. But this demon is killing, his enemies, and he's killing for the wrong reasons. And I feel guilty about it because that's not what I want to do. So it was a good introduction. It was very fast paced, very short read, easy read. Cool introduction to what's to come. And then it starts off with that advertisement. Witchblade want more Sarah Pazzini. Go out and get an issue of the ongoing series now. And written by David Wall and Christina Z. Penciled by Randy Green and inked by D-Tron. And D-Tron, I should see his name all over the place. Colored by Jonathan D. Smith. And then what I liked about this is the sketchbook. That's one of the reasons I was a big fan of Wizard Magazine, because they used to always have the artist sketchbooks and the how-tos and all that other stuff, and I thought it was fantastic. And so here we got Sarah and Laura. These are Kai Cha's original sketches of Sarah left and Laura right. You notice the biggest difference between them is their mouths. Laura is whiter. So one of the things was it must have been a prerequisite at Top Cow that the women had to have a similar look. They might have changed the outfits, they might have changed the skin tones or the hairstyles, but they all had that same look. The big white eyes with the mascara and all that other stuff. I mean, they all had that similar style. And then here we go. It was like architecture and the dragon. At left, I'm trying to move the glare. At left is the layout for the Chinese Mafia headquarters. Next to it are the earliest designs for the dragon. The first one looked too Japanese because of the helmet-like headgear. The second is more in the Chinese style, with the head more closely resembling a lion. That's pretty cool. And then Wing Fat. These are the front and back view character designs for Wing Fat, the Chinese mafia member that causes tons of grief for Sarah and Laura in this comic. And then here you have script to layout. So you have thumbnails. Artist Mark Pajarillo does his initial page thumbnails left on the script pages so he can immediately get a feel for the story. So this is, Anibal does that. He's done that on the scripts. I've done that on Cosmic Wars scripts. It's, when you don't have a pad near you, you just start doodling and then you just transfer it onto another bigger. You start doing bigger thumbnails and bigger until you get to the final piece. So here's page 6. Here is a better look at one of those tiny thumbnails with the actual layout next to it. Much has changed from the original concept to the near final version. So here's the thumbnail, right? So you have one panel on top, right? So that's that angle. Then you have 3 panels here, 1, 2, 3. Then you had this one here, so you can see that they were positioned standing here, but now they moved them here. And then the final panel remained the same. So this was the most changed from what I can see, this scene here. Because you had the guy kneeling over, and then they're standing over the couch. Instead of now, they're further away. You got a photographer here. You got the dead bodies. You got them standing, and you got a cop in the background. Page 7, this is another look at one of those thumbnails. This one almost exactly depicts what the final page looks like. So yeah, so if you can see this thumbnail here, he's standing here, he's standing here. You got the panel here with 3 people. Instead, they changed it. So he was in the foreground, but now he's off to he's still in the foreground, but he's on the left, but he's not as focal. And you have, they're more dominant here in this scene where they were in the backdrop. And then you have the girls here that remain the same, and then you got his face, so that remained the same. Like the example above, Pajarillo's earliest interpretation of the scene in the script made it through to the final cut. So here we go. There's a bird's eye view that remained the same. This positioning remained the same. That one remained the same. Yeah, everything stood the same. So that was pretty cool. And then, of course, 1999, they were going to be at Wizard World Chicago. You had Michael Turner and Mark Silvestri. And Michael Turner's art was killer. His stuff on Fathom and Witchblade was crazy. Guest of honor at that time was Kevin Smith. More special guests to be announced. And we're going to party like it's 1999. Ascension, Fathom, Darkness. Let's see. The Darkness, Batman, Hellhole, Rising Star, Spirit of the Tau, Tales of the Darkness, Tales of the Witchblade Infinity, and a few more surprises. And yeah, Inquest Gamer, which is on the publication by Wizard Magazine. Then he had Top Cal, J. Michael Straczynski, creator of Babylon 5 and Crusade. Rising Stars #1. That was an advertisement for that. And then here's an advertisement for Wizard. And again, this Wizard Magazine #95, which was going to come out, was going to have this #0 with Avengers. Pretty dope. So that was a great tour down memory lane, going back in time. For all you youngins who don't know, you know, go and dig in the crates, go into the long boxes when you're at the comic shops and get some of these if they still exist and they're still around. You know, these guys were the Crusaders back then. You know, they changed the game. And so I'm glad to be able to feature this. I might be doing a few others. I found a few other stuff that I'm sure people don't remember, but I'm going to rehash and go back through memory. With that said, if you want your comic book featured on What's in the Box, all you have to do is hit me up. You can send me a PDF or a hard copy. It's up to you. And just DM me. You can DM me on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. Everything's at Catch the Craze. Also, we have the 1K challenge. So if we get to 1,000 subscribers by September 9th, which is our second year anniversary of our comeback of Catch the Craze podcast, we will be raffling off. One person is going to be, everybody's going to be entered into a raffle. One person is going to win a $100 gift card, a Catch the Craze hoodie, and 3 graphic novels produced by myself and George the Dreamer Medina, which is Rush 5377, There's Nailed on My Toilet, and Catch the Crazies, the collected edition. And also, we're going to be celebrating our 300th anniversary episode, a 300th episode in August. So we'd like to have 30 of you in our chat, do our live chat. We will be streaming on multiple platforms, and we will hold 3 raffles if we have 30 of you in there. So for every 10 that are in the chat, we're going to do 1 raffle. And we have some really cool prizes for that. So spread the word, subscribe, share, like, give me a thumbs up if you like this episode. If there's another comic book that from the back of the days that you'd like me to feature, let me know. Because I have a lot of vintage stuff. And again, thumbs up, subscribe, like. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera. Thank you. This is another episode of What's in the Box. I will talk to you soon. Peace.
What's in the box?